Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to Jonathan Tanner, whose name I probably pronounced correctly this time. Thanks for your continued support, John. That said, let's get started. Welcome back to episode 6. Last time we confronted Tartuccio, had a chat with Kressel, and collected some fangberries for Bakken. So today we're starting things off by heading back to Oleg's trading post, to do a little trading and to turn in a few quests. Okay, let's get this taken care of and then we can head for the abandoned hut. Oh, hold on. Listen, well, since you dispatched the bandits with such skill, maybe you can help us with another problem. There's a feral swine living here in the woods. Not a normal wild pig. We're talking about a vicious boar, as big as a bear and wicked as a devil. The locals call him Tusk Gutter. Many hunters have lost life and limb to him. Veckel Benson found his lair and went to kill the beast, but came back with one leg. He put a bounty on the boar's head, but it looks like there aren't any heroes around here bold enough to claim it. Maybe you will rid us of this monster. Amiri livens up. Hey, we're better than the local wussies, right? Wanna bet I can chop off this Tusk Gutter's snout with a single swing? Come on, let's find out. Huh. Looks like we've got another side quest. Alright, let's go kill this Tusk Gutter. Amiri gives you a wide grin and slaps your shoulder. Right, that's the way I like it. Let's do it. Okay, that's one more thing for the to-do list. That's strange. It actually considers helping Amiri and killing Tusk Gutter to be two separate quests. I'm also pretty sure that Oleg said something when we first... Yeah, there it is. Apparently Keston just arrived from Rostov, so I guess we'll have to deal with that too. Oh, but before we do that, we're carrying a lot of loot, so I think we'll do some trading with Oleg first. You've already seen what the trading interface looks like, so I won't bore you with the details. Let's just skip ahead to something more interesting. And welcome back. I just finished trading with Oleg, and we got about 2,000 gold for all the vendor trash we picked up so far. Though I did decide to hold on to those ancient coins we found. A few of the viewers have suggested that they might be useful in Act 2, so I figured it couldn't hurt. I also decided to hold on to most of the scrolls we've found. I don't tend to use them, but we should be meeting a recruitable wizard at some point. Maybe they can transcribe them into their spellbook. Anyway, I put the vast majority of the gold that we earned towards buying a new set of armor for Valerie. It cost us 1,500 gold, but that new plate mail pushes her up to an incredible 25 armor class. Not bad for a level 2 character. Of course, it does push her into medium encumbrance, but I'd say it's worth it. Besides, it turns out that encumbrance penalties don't actually stack with armor penalties. At any rate, let's go turn in some quests. Bakken's standing right here, so we might as well start with him. You want some potions? Are these the berries you were looking for? After a quick glance at the basket, Bakken grabs a fistful of berries and shoves them into his mouth. A smile of delight brightens his face. Ah, fangberries, so fresh. You've been good to an old man. Thank you. Here, take these potions. If you need more, feel free to return. I'll even give you a discount. Well, we don't really need the healing potions, but that potion of restoration will come in handy. What do you use those fangberries for? Truth be told, as I've gotten older, I've gotten kind of particular, and my appetite is almost gone. Everything I eat is practically tasteless to me now. I can barely force myself to swallow a bite. One thing I can still taste is fangberries, so I add them to my porridge or to roasted meat. I even add them to my potions. When I ran out of fangberries, I stopped eating entirely. Svetlana tried to help me, the dear. She baked pies for me, cooked me fish soup and stewed venison, but I just couldn't eat any of it. I was desperate. Those damned spiders had sucked the last bit of joy out of my life. If not for you, I'd pretty much have starved to death, miserable to the end. Sure, that sounds plausible. Anyway, we're pretty much done with Bakken for now. Let's head inside and have a chat with Svetlana. Oh, and there's Keston. Maybe we should talk to him first. No, we'll start with Svetlana. Here's your ring, Svetlana. Kressel gave it to me. I even managed to convince her not to fight me. Svetlana sighs bitterly. I suppose I should tell you the truth about her. Kressel wasn't her real name. Her real name was Irina, before all this. She was the daughter of my mother and her second husband, my half-sister. I can't help but feel like everything that happened to her was my fault. She always had a wildness about her. She'd wander the streets, hanging out with a bad crowd. Until the day she passed, Mother complained about Irina constantly. Back then it was just cruel games and strange escapades. She never really hurt anyone back in Rostov. Her father didn't last much longer than our mother, so I decided to try to help Irina. I brought her here to the Stolen Lands, though Oleg was against it. And once here, she immediately fell under the Stag Lord's influence. She never even needed to meet him. The stories and rumors from local hunters and bandits were enough to win her over. She would tell us how he was a real leader, unlike Rostov's softies. Eventually, she ran away only to return under a new name with a pack of thugs to collect taxes from us. What's worse, she participated in the torture and execution of prisoners alongside the Stag Lord's minions. I don't know if there's any way to set her back on the right path, but I'm grateful for your kindness. Perhaps there's still hope. For the sake of my mother's memory, I'd like to believe that. I'm not so sure about that, Svetlana. People don't change their alignment overnight. Anyway, we're pretty much done with Svetlana for now, and it looks like she rewarded us with 10 units worth of camping supplies. That's definitely pretty useful, but it's also very heavy. 10 units worth of camping supplies is equal to 100 pounds worth of encumbrance. Now, that is just party encumbrance, which doesn't have a direct effect on our stats like individual character encumbrance does, but it will affect our travel speed and how quickly our characters become fatigued. Of course, we'll worry about that a little later. For now, let's have a chat with Keston. Greetings! Keston Garrus, the mercenary from among the associates of Jamandi Aldori, nods to you, as though you'd seen each other in Rostov only yesterday. He limps noticeably, and his clothes are stained with blood, and looks every bit as grim and focused as when you first met. But this time, you also sense a hint of excitement in his eyes. I've urgent news from Rostov. The Sword Lords have learned that our mutual acquaintance Tartuccio is a Pataxian spy. It appears that he planned to gain the barony and Aldori support, only to later place these lands under the command of his true patron. King Iravetti is no stranger to intrigue, and likes to use others to do his dirty work. Keston winces. Lady Jamandi ordered me to capture Tartuccio. We were following his trail when that damned mist fell. First, we entirely lost our way, and then stumbled right into a bandit ambush. Alas, nearly all my men were wounded, and can go no further, and so I am here, asking for your aid. I'll point out on the map where Tartuccio is supposed to be. Capture that scum and bring him here. Rostov will not forget this favor. So Tartuccio is a Pataxian spy? The sly bastard has caused us no little trouble, that's for sure. Keston frowns. When he showed up in Rostov and announced he'd like to take part in the competition, nobody suspected a thing. Yes, a gnome. Yes, a sorcerer. But so what? Some of my men even placed wagers on him. Against you. His overconfidence was his downfall. Tartuccio's henchmen, it seems, imagined they could safely meet with Pataxian spies in the town's seedy underbelly. But Rostov is the ancestral home of the Aldori, and Lady Jamandi is respected not only by the aristocracy and the common folk, but also by those on the other side of the law. We received a message from the slums. A good friend, who wished to remain anonymous, suggested the Sword Lords take a closer look at a certain guest from Pidax. Jamandi immediately sent for me, and ordered me to first capture the spy, and then Tartuccio himself. All very quietly, of course. I doubt that Iravetti was pleased to hear of his agent's failure. A nasty grin crosses Keston's face. What can Pitaxian spies hope to find in the stolen lands? Pitaxian spies are like magpies. They'll grab onto anything that catches their eye. Information, treasure, artifacts. This time King Iravetti had a chance to seize the entire Stolen Lands region, and at the Eldori's expense. I'll give you some advice for the future. Be wary of the Pitaxian king. He's truly a snake of a man. Okay, I think we're pretty much done with Keston. We could ask about his background, but like our companions, I think we'll hold off on that for now. We've already spent the first 10 minutes of the episode talking to NPCs, so let's just get some rest and get back to adventuring. Alright, we're refreshed, recharged, and resupplied. I don't think there's anyone else we need to talk to, so let's not waste any more time. We'll head straight for the world map. Oh, but first, there are a couple of items I overlooked when I looted Oleg's trading post earlier. They're marked clearly on our map, so let's go grab them real quick. There's 3 potatoes. Not terribly exciting, but potentially useful. Oh, that's a bit more promising. A couple of coins and a coil of rope. I don't think I've ever actually run into an event that requires rope, but there must be at least a few out there. Now, if we could just find a 10-foot pole, we'd be ready for anything.
Onwards.
Oh, and as usual, I'll set up a quick save before we head out. After all, this is just a beta. Better safe than sorry. Okay, now, today we're headed due west, towards the abandoned hut that the Stag Lord seems to have taken an interest in. That's largely unexplored territory, so we'll have to do a little trailblazing to find our way there. Oh, and I've also had a lot of people point out that I completely overlooked the old sycamore after our second confrontation with Tartuccio. We'll definitely start heading in that direction after we're done with the abandoned hut. There's Tuskgutter's lair, too. We'll definitely get to that at some point, but the general impression I get is that the farther we go from Oleg's, the more challenging the encounters will become. Anyway, let's go check out that hut. Oh, there's a little side path there. We're all the way on the north edge of the map, so there's probably something hidden there. We'll check it out a little later. Oh, and now we've run into a random encounter. A group of well-armed fighters approaches. One of them raises their voice, pointing at you. Hey you, stop right there. Kalana, look at this one. Will he do? The group's leader lays her cold and watchful eyes upon you. This one? I suppose, but I don't like his snout. She studies your companions, carefully but nonchalantly, as if examining goods at the market. Listen, you tramps, we're from the Technic League. Our slave died and we need a replacement. One of you will be coming with us. The rest of you are free to go. I advise against resistance. It would be a quick trick to kill every one of you. Choose now the one that you will give. Well, I can't say I'm familiar with the Technic League, but from the attitude, I'm guessing they're lawful evil. What is this Technic League? One very serious organization from Numeria, people with whom you'd better not start a fight, and who you better not bother with foolish questions. These responses are kind of telling. I'm definitely being plot-hammered here. I don't have any options to try to talk my way out of the situation. My only choices are to panic or immediately attack. Well, given that we follow Kairon, the god of drunken bravery, I think our response is obvious. This is not happening. To arms! Big mistake. Okay, we're up against 4 foes, and they've got a swordsman up front. Kalana is probably some sort of spellcaster. They've also got a bowman and, oof, another mage. This is definitely going to be a tricky fight. Alright, the first thing we need to do is tie up that swordsman.
Let us strike as one.
Hopefully Valerie can keep him busy long enough for Amiri to take out that mage. We don't have a clear shot at Kalana, but we'll try to keep her distracted by summoning a death pony right next to her. In fact, let's go ahead and hedge our bets. We'll have Lindsay conjure up a death pony too. We'll also have Harem toss out a quick bless spell before he wades into combat with the rest of the party. Well, that charge action didn't work out at all. Alright, Amiri will deal with the swordsman. Valerie can go after the mage. Yeah, it looks like Kalana's definitely casting a spell over there. That makes her a high priority target. Whoa, hold on a second. Blindness? That seems like a bit much. Unlike most other debuffs, blindness doesn't have a duration. It permanently cripples your character until you find a way to cure it. Okay, we definitely need to take out those mages. Let's get some more death ponies in there. Whoops. Okay, Amiri just lost most of her hit points. Let's queue up some quick healing spells. Ah, too late. Kalana casts a scornful eye on your fallen companion. This is precisely why you should not have resisted the will of the Technic League. Enough of this comedy. Hide your weapons. I shall take this carry-on. Pray that the rest of you will escape the same fate. I can withstand this. Let them take me. And then come to my rescue. Yeah, I don't think so. We will fight to the last. A fatal mistake. Okay, let's try to keep Kalana distracted. Oof, it also looks like... Oh, there we go. Okay, we took out the swordsman, but Retcon's badly injured. We'll have him queue up a quick healing spell while Harem goes after the bowman. Well, so much for that plan. Alright, let's focus our attention on the bowman. Once he's down, we can focus fire on Kalana. Oh, you know what? I forgot to have Lindsay start playing music. You have crossed paths with the Technic League. This shall be your undoing. Guess she had some plot armor. Okay, well, she left some summons behind, so let's take care of those before we do anything else. Sorry, death ponies. You chose the wrong side. Whew. Well, that was, definitely a challenging fight. Let's do a quick status check here. Looks like we're all still alive and no one's suffering any permanent status effects. Not bad. Let's toss out some healing and then we'll loot the corpses.
I'll make my own legend.
I'm listening.
Whoops, hold on. There we go.
This is my path.
Alright, let's see what we got.
Adventures await.
A masterwork longbow. Potentially useful, but not really something we're specialized in. Well, that's a bit disappointing. Nothing but conventional gear. Oh, but this one had a magic weapon. An S-stock. I think that's a fencing blade, and I'm pretty sure it's an exotic weapon, so that means it's pretty much vendor trash. But at least it's valuable vendor trash. Yeah, that definitely looks like an exotic weapon. That crit range is actually pretty crazy. Let's make absolutely sure no one can equip it. Okay, that's what I thought. At least we didn't lose a party member, and we did get a bit of experience and loot in the process. Let's take a quick walk around the area, just to make sure we're not missing anything. Then we'll head back out to the world map.
It is done.
You know what? I'm pretty sure there's nothing else here. We'll just leave. Oh, okay. The insidious henchmen of the ominous Technic League have disappeared into the thick wilderness of the mysterious Stolen Lands. But not for long. Soon we'd be upon them. First, though, we'd have to pick up their trail. To do that, we... 3 skill check options, but based on the way they're written, I'm guessing the first 2 just modify the third one. I guess we'll try all 3 of them. Tried to understand, based on what we've seen, what kind of spell Kalana used to get away, and where it could bring her. Unfortunately, a spell is such an elusive thing, it can hardly be called a thing at all. No matter how hard we thought, we still had no idea what exactly she used. We had to find another way. We tried to find anyone who could have seen these despicable people. Sadly, the wild woods of the Stolen Lands are not like city streets, where you can talk to passers-by, go to the tavern, question the drunkards, and order a beer. In the whole area, we only met a single mushroom gatherer, who seemed suspicious that we were armed, turned around, and ran. No one was going to help us, so we don't really have much choice here. Without searching for other ways to simplify our work, we followed the trail of the Technic League. The henchmen of the ominous Technic League are truly insidious, and the Stolen Lands a mysterious thicket. But true heroes think nothing of such things. We easily picked up the trail of those scoundrels and soon found their camp. Well, alright then. I guess we'll be paying Kalana a visit. Wait, no, we're back on the world map. Oh, I see. It uncovered the location of their camp, but didn't actually move us there. That's a bit misleading. We'll stay focused on the abandoned hut for now. Oh, there's another named location. The Oak That Strayed. I'd like to check that out as well, but I don't see any obvious way to get to it. I guess we could start testing these side paths, but we're already right here. We might as well check out the hut before we start wearing ourselves out. Okay, let's have a look around. Hey, it's the Guardian. You're here. Please, follow me. Lead the way, Guardian. We're right behind you. Right after we pick these flowers.
It is done.
Father, please. I looked for the herbs you asked for. There just weren't enough to... Silence! Disobedience leads to punishment, and you have disobeyed twice. But Father... 3 times. Enough. I can't. Enough. Well, that's pretty grim. They really need to adjust some of that timing, too. They don't really give you much of a chance to read some of this dialogue. Anyway, timing issues aside, I'm getting the impression we're looking at the origin of the Stag Lord. Let's keep looking around. The staircase decayed and collapsed long ago. It can't be climbed. Rotted wooden racks, long ago used for drying herbs.
What's that?
There's some general loot. And a potion we're never going to use. Okay, looks like we've got a couple of wolves ahead of us. We should be able to handle them pretty easily. Actually, we'll probably be resting soon, so let's go ahead and use some of our abilities. Yeah, they still landed a pretty solid hit on Harem.
I'll make my own legend.
I am yours to command. What you want? Here.
I think that might have been the last of our healing spells. We definitely need to rest soon. Let's see what they were guarding. Okay. In early spring, Willow's leaves are the same color as her eyes. His, too. I barely hold myself from burning them out with acid. It is his fault. Despicable. Weak. If it was not for him, she would still be alive. Does not talk to me. Looks away. Plans something. I know. I have to gather forest herbs and make a hiding place. Hide my charms. He is a coward, but he can steal and run away. I will punch it out of him. Everything hurts. I can barely walk. How could he? How? He would never bring himself to confront me on his own. He says his name is now Stag Lord. He says he will not let me die or let me go. He says I should not be calling him my son. Like I ever did. He told me to pack my things. We're leaving soon. He now has his people and his own fortress. I'm hiding the charms in the herb cache. I probably should not. I will not be able to escape. He will not let me. Well, that pretty much confirms our theory. Bushes grow in the well, a clear sign that it was abandoned long ago. And another ancient coin. I guess we'll take it.
No stopping now.
Where have you been? I told you to prepare everything for the ritual. You will never give me orders again. What? Well then, summon your power. Or maybe you'd like to try the acid. I'm not your slave any longer. Not your toy. Not your son. Enough! I won't kill you. Your powers will be of use to me. From now on, you do as I say. I appreciate the backstory, but they are laying it on a bit thick. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but sometimes less is more. A small deserted timber shed. Let me guess, that's where the Stag Lord slept. The familiar outline of the nymph appears before you. I have been waiting for you. The flowers, birds, and wind told me you would come. Oh, my poor flowers. They will perish before long in this fog. It seems that only you can see or hear the nymph. Speaking to the gods is best done in private. I can look away if need be. I had a strange vision, a young man and an old druid who tortured him. Then they exchanged roles. The nymph lowers her head. Yes. The soil, water, and stones here are infused with toxic pain and fear. They poison this place as we speak. The one called Stag Lord was once the victim of a cruel madman, and has since become one himself. You see now how monsters are born, but what comes of regret for a thing you cannot change? There is no time to be lost. We must do away with the fog quickly. Tell me what to do next. Search the area around the hut. Try to find anything that remained of the druid who lived here. I am sure the fog is his doing. This suffocating veil is as vicious as his nature. We should learn more about the fog and the ritual through which it was created. Return to me if you find anything. The past may hide the answers that shape the future. I'll return later. Farewell. I will be waiting, the nymph whispers. I guess we'll keep looking around. We've got a house here. That's promising.
You see that?
A token of the Dryad. Another ancient antiquity. There must be some use for these things. Yeah, they're sorted separately from the rest of the valuables. That makes me think there's something special about them. I'm sure we'll figure it out sooner or later.
What's that?
The stone altar is decorated with an eroded foliage pattern and symbols of green faith. Another note. I went to the old Temple of the Elk again today. Wicked, gloomy place. Just like my soul. It used to shine once, and it is hollow and horrible now. Did he spy on me? Maybe I should lock him up. No, let him be. What can he do, the useless coward? Just whimper and hide. The nymph reaches toward you. You come again. Did you find something? I found the druid's notes. They mention a temple of the elk. Can this help us? The nymph's eyes flare from within her pale face. An ancient temple, the temple of the stag god. Yes, that must be it. The place of power where the druid created the fog. Perhaps we'll be able to cleanse it from there. But the place lies outside of my domain. I don't know where to find it. Perhaps one of the people wandering here knows of it. Places of this kind draw attention. I have a clear goal now. I'll continue my journey. Oh, and, she's gone. Rude. Alright, well, we've already finished exploring most of this map, so let's check out that one last bit, and then we'll call this an episode. There's clearly something inside the cabin. Anything over here? No? Alright, let's look at the cabin. And there's a single wolf inside. That's fine. We shouldn't have any trouble beating it to death. Come on, Amiri, get up. You're embarrassing everyone. Okay, so that gets us a wolf pelt and a tenderloin. Interesting. Let's see what else we've got here. A wooden house, time-worn and apparently deserted. The ground near the chest is covered with culinary herbs. They dried out long ago. Okay, so this must be the stash the druid wrote about. Not bad. A couple of potions, some general loot items, and a short sword +1. Unfortunately, I don't think Retcon or Harem can actually use that, and we're definitely not giving it to our fighters. I guess we'll let Lindsay have it. Just in case. Alright, well, this wasn't nearly as exciting as I hoped it would be, but it was very informative. More importantly, it puts us one step closer to the Stag Lord. Now, we'll go ahead and pause things here, but next time we'll pick things up by paying the Technic League a little visit. Then we'll head to the old Sycamore to catch up with Tartuccio. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing the Pathfinder Kingmaker beta, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official YouTube channel, or the original crowdfunding campaign over on Kickstarter. Links are in the description.